Welcome to the Ballroom Dance Channel. We are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers who meet here every day to chat all things ballroom dance. Today's letter. Hi, Sunny. How do you know when a student's ready to learn a new fundamental? It seems to me that the fundamentals build on one another, and so sometimes you can't understand fundamental B until you've mastered fundamental A. Can you give some examples of this? Sure can. Okay, here goes. First of all, you are spot on. There is nothing that's going to hold your dancing back more than you trying to have all the bells and whistles coming out of the chute. It is going to be like a piñata of craziness out there on the dance floor. Dislike. Related to that, it's going to be like dancing with a bowl in a china shop. And you know what, ladies? For how much you complain about how leads drag you around, I got news for you. I've done a lot of leading and a lot of following over the years, and the worst are the ladies who are trying to shape, like, the worst phase of their careers when they very first start competing, and they're like, I'm going to shape so big. I'm like, you know what? I'm a sturdy girl, but man, I can't overpower you. So yeah, just take it down a notch and master the fundamentals first. They absolutely build on each other. Now, every single figure is different. So first of all, I'm going to break down with a broad brush how I approach every single figure in dancing and every single dance. Okay, so the first thing we conquer, timing. You know what? You can do a merengue in place and I can follow that. Just march it in place if you keep the beats. Now, fortunately, most ballroom dancers, especially competitors, are pretty good at doing that, but certainly you probably didn't do it your first lesson. Okay, number 2, the arm connection. Now, I'm not talking about all the fancy stuff, just what do I do with the arms in general, because everyone wants to start kind of holding a little purse underneath their arm, whether it's man or lady, and that's going to be real ugly and real hard to lead and follow. Okay, the next thing we master, right and left foot. So I'm sure to those of you experienced ballroom dancers out there, that seems, what do you mean right and left foot? Trust me, your first lesson, I guarantee you were taking like 2 lefts in a row. I've taught enough lessons to see the same thing over and over again. It does take several years to kind of autopilot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Okay, the next thing we work on are heels and toes. So we work on that dorsiflexion. So that's this action with your foot. This is the toe and this is the heel. And the plantar flexion. So toes in Latin, where we're going to do a toe all the time. So ballroom, we do a lot of heels and toes. And then Latin, we do a lot of toes, and we have a different bent leg, straight leg action. Anyway, if they master the heels and toes, the bent leg, straight leg somewhat falls into place. Okay, next up, what do we look at? The angles. And you're not going to get all these at once. You got to put one layer on that cake at a time till you get to that fancy 9-layer cake. It's not going to work if you mush it all together. And it's just going to be what we call a dump cake in the crock pot. Okay, so angles, what does that mean? Well, that's what you look in that syllabus book for. There are really particular starting and ending positions, for example, down line of dance, straight ahead. Backing line of dance with your butt facing line of dance, dancing backwards, diagonal center. Well, the figures work most efficiently doing it that way. Do you have to do it that way? No. I can also pound a square peg into a round hole. It's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to work as well. So getting the angles down. Okay, next step. This is a hard one. Turn in and turn out. Everyone has a natural turn in or turn out. So this would be my 2 footies. They turn in or they turn out. Most people have turn out. So when we go backwards, we do a lot of turning in and then out, and vice versa. We go in and then out. This is also known as leg tracking. And, you know, when people go backwards, just the way we're built, DNA, they're going to want to always have turn out. And that's going to be real boxy, like massive prom dancing. So getting the foot turn in, turn out, and getting that flexibility and just comfort moving different when we got a body in front of us, okay? What do we do next? We add space in the top line. So pretty much we go from, if I were to show from the side here, sorry guys, I'm kind of up close here. So going straight to the side, both of us, it's kind of heavy and chunky in our partner, to making more space with the top line. So for follows, that means don't put your back, but putting your elbows forward ahead of you and keeping your body there. Leads, you're doing the same thing. I always want to think sternum forward instead of my head forward, which is kind of how you naturally want to stand. Next up, CBM. So getting that separation of the blocks where I can rotate with the body. What do we do next? Standing leg action. So basically you're going to want to stand on both feet at one time. And that is not a good lead or follow or graceful. It just impedes your movement. So standing leg action. It's especially difficult when you go forward and backwards. Okay, what do I work on next? Final thing, deceleration. So in really beautiful ballroom dance, and I'll just show with my arm because that's all you can see right now. We'll do it with our legs as well, especially in standard. I have an acceleration and a deceleration, or a slow and then a fast. Okay, so there's all sorts of benefits artistically to doing this, completing the shape, looking three-dimensional rather than two-dimensional, but acceleration comes pretty natural to most people. Deceleration, no. Once the ball's thrown, you just want to let it throw, and it ends up kind of helping. I call it like bird poop hands in cha-cha, where you're doing a New York and you're like, no, you got to decelerate that bad boy. So stop and then control the fingers. So the deceleration. Okay, now next up, you asked about an example of the etymology. So every single figure does have a basis in a previously learned figure. So for today's purposes, we'll look at a double reverse and waltz. You know what? It's going to be a total dumpster fire if you start out teaching a beginning couple a double reverse spin. What do? No, you teach a basic reverse turn, forward, side, together. So what's the next thing you would do before throwing in that double reverse at them? Closed impetus turn. So I'm rotating a little bit more and I'm leading a heel turn. So that's a whole different figure we're kind of adding on. Anyway, after I master as much as I can that closed impetus turn, then I'm going to introduce a double reverse, which is kind of like an overturned closed impetus turn where, whoa, now I'm doing a 360. It's not just part of a turn. So yes, every single figure is going to build on a previous figure. And the syllabus is pretty well designed to build on each other. Sometimes they throw a humdinger in there where I'm like, why is this bronze? And then why is the easier one in gold? But usually it works pretty darn well. So yeah, you are right. I do not recommend trying to tackle everything at once. That is a recipe for frustration and failure. And if you want to win it, tortoise in the hair. If you want to win it, take it slow and steady, and your teacher will guide you in that path. Okay, thanks so much for your question. I look forward to seeing you guys first thing tomorrow morning for some more things ballroom dance. Thanks for joining me. Have a awesome, happy dancing day. Doodles.